Last season, the Cardinals were knocking on the door to the postseason with a 6-3 start, but that door was jammed and they missed the playoffs after an 8-8 finish. This offseason, General Manager Steve Keim wants to make sure that doesn't happen again, so he starts with a splash by signing J.J. Watt, and now that door is wide open. After competing in Tucson last week, Larry is now getting ready for the U.S. Disabled Open right here in Arizona, where he's looking to take his best swing. Since the Twins transferred to ASU in 2018, their parents haven't missed a single game. Now, they live in Oakdale, California, so they've been on the plane a lot. In fact, they've flown over 70,000 miles since 2018 just during the spring. Now, their most common flight is 1,400 miles to Tempe here at Club Farrington. Anderson's a slasher, so you'll see him all over the field in the ground game. Sometimes he'll pop up out of nowhere, go right, come back from the left, and of course he can run through the tackles.
I'm a little bit smarter.
After all the adversity the Twins faced this offseason, Matty found a new gym for them to train at. And sure, while they were there, they became faster, stronger, and better hitters in the process. But what they really discovered was a new perspective on life with the #Smile movement. Take me out to the ball game. Opening day is finally here. Welcome to Cronkite Sports Now. I'm Jordan Spurgeon. Thank you for joining us.
Now in Tucson.
Yeah, Brad, these two local products definitely took different paths to get here, but now they're both competing for the same starting quarterback job for the Arizona Wildcats. Chris Paul is front and center on the mural, rocking an HBCU hoodie. To his right, you've got head coach Monty Williams and teammate Javon Carter. To the left, you've got Skylar Diggins of the Phoenix Mercury and Breonna Taylor wearing a Black Lives Matter shirt. The local artists who were part of this project wanted one thing: to spark a conversation with the bristles of their brush. Cody Custer was a bull rider for the Professional Rodeo Cowboys Association in the 80s prior to co-founding PBR in 1992. An exclusive network deal with CBS Sports has brought in the cash.
You wear number 77. Is there any sort of significant meaning behind that, or was it just a random number, or how'd that come about?
So when I was little, I was always number 7, and it's kind of weird. I feel like it's more of like a personal thing, but as I went to travel, I said I was gonna double up, so I was gonna do 77, and I feel like that's a number that people don't really normally choose. So I feel like it's something like, oh, Jasmine Hill, 77, it's something that people will always remember by.
So there's no change in the future then? It's gonna stay right there, huh?
Staying, yeah, for sure.
First home run of the season. It's been 9 months. You're coming around third base. Do you already know what dance or what celebration you're gonna do?
Yeah, so I'll probably do my little signature arm pump, showing the muscles, because with my size, people don't expect as much power as I have, so I gotta let it be known.
So that's it. It's the arm pump for Jasmine, right?
You gotta do so you gotta show the muscle.
See ya. Bye.
For twins Kendra and Maddie Hackbarth, family means everything, which is why their parents, Mary and Paul, don't miss games home or away for Arizona State softball.
With us, at least, our children come first. That's all, that's just how we've always lived our life.
Mary and Paul set up their own section full of posters and fatheads at every home game and a smaller version of that same setup on the road. The twins are grateful to see so much support from their family at each contest.
It means a lot to us. We love having them there. They're our biggest supporters. They've done everything, and honestly, without them and their sacrifices and how hard they work, we wouldn't be here.
They get to hang up their posters, and they do have me and Maddie's faces on them, but that's okay. But they enjoy it, and if they enjoy it, I'm going to enjoy it.
Since the twins transferred to ASU in 2018, their parents haven't missed a single game. Now, they live in Oakdale, California, so they've been on the plane a lot. In fact, they've flown over 70,000 miles since 2018 just during the spring. Now, their most common flight is 1,400 miles to Tempe here at Club Farrington. The Hackbars have their own little section where they've got banners and flyers and everything they can bring to support the twins. Now, the furthest they've gone on the road this year is here at UTEP in El Paso. The Hackbars don't cut any corners when supporting the twins and the ASU softball program, and they're really loving every minute of it.
When they decided to, pursue college and they were going to play, that was one of the questions they had, are you going to be able to come watch us play? To be able to travel to all their games, I thank God every day for it.
Paul and Mary both work full-time jobs, so it's no easy task to travel to all of these games. In order to make it work, they get creative by banking their vacation days and only using them for softball season.
We do save all our time for just season.
Yeah.
But
No vacations or anything.
anymore.
Everything is just for softball.
To understand the Hack Bar's devotion, you have to go back to the beginning when the twins were born. Mary had a difficult pregnancy. As a result, Kendra and Maddie were born at only 30 weeks and spent most of the first month of their lives in the hospital.
They've been Wonder Twins since they were born. They were born at 30 weeks. Their lungs weren't fully developed and everything.
It's important to know how your life began. However, for the Hack Bars, life isn't about how you start, but rather how you finish. The twins have gone from premature birth to Division I softball All-Americans.
I mean, it just kind of adds to your story. I feel like I tell that to a lot of people, like everyone has their own story and you can pick and choose how you want to live it.
Me and Kinder, obviously, yeah, we're fighters. We had to fight since we were born. To be born that way, like, you have to fight, you know, and I think I'm very blessed that I wasn't alone in that fight.
With all the support they've shown the twins, Paul and Mary hope that Kendra and Maddie have learned the value of family and sticking together through thick and thin as they move past college softball and into the real world this summer.
So I'm hoping that like it makes an impact on them. I mean, I think it is. This year especially, I've noticed a real big difference in them to where like they're really getting it and they're really appreciating just life in general.
The Wonder Twins will forever be a part of the Sun Devil record books, and their parents couldn't be prouder and more supportive after everything they've overcome. The Tempe native and Chandler High product wants to be a legend in Sun Devil football lore. Coach Edwards says he saw that potential in him from day one when he took over the program. ASU football opens their season this Saturday at USC at 10 a.m., so set your alarm clocks for a marquee Pac-12 matchup. Next season, you can catch Glenn and Dana Schock wearing a split jersey between the Oregon Ducks for Tyler and the NAU Lumberjacks for Brady. Well, it's been a year since that eerie night when the NBA abruptly ended play following their first case of COVID-19. Today, there's no such stoppage, especially here in the Valley. Looking back on last year and maybe your first 4 seasons here at ASU, what are some of your favorite memories?
One, going to the World Series when I was a sophomore, and two, I think the Utah game when we came back, like the 9-run thing, and Tad had the walk-off. I think those are probably my top 2 memories.
So with all those memories, was it then an easy decision to come back for a 5th year, or was there a lot more that went into it for you?
We knew that we were granted another year so early, but we didn't really know what COVID was and what like it was capable of. So that was kind of scary. But I did know right away that I did want to come back and play softball. It was just like the side of like what will COVID allow us to do, if that makes sense.
And with that, I saw you're engaged, which congratulations, by the way. That's awesome. Has coming back for a 5th year sort of altered like any of the wedding plans or anything like that? Or what's the plan with that now?
It hasn't really altered much. I feel like I have like kind of everything under control. Just if COVID's kind of getting worse, that might alter things, which fingers crossed it doesn't, because I want to play and then I want to get like all my girl stuff, you know?
It starts with Chip Traina. He's the red light of the group. You run into him, you're going to be stopped. Then there's Rashad White, the green light. Fast, elusive, and someone that you want to see on the highway. The blue light is Daniel Nada. He's the slasher of the group, the change of pace back. You run into him, there's some trouble. This group is what nightmares are made of for opposing defensive coordinators. You know that feeling when you start a new diet and you start hitting the gym consistently and you start seeing more and more results and it pushes you to want to do more and more every day? Well, that's got to be what General Manager Steve Keim is feeling after all the moves he's made to change the health of this team heading into the next season. Professional bull riding comes to the Valley once a year, with riders showcasing a growth and skill level that is decades in the making.
These guys are, they're getting serious about their training and stuff like that, so it's more than just a bunch of yahoos out there playing around. It's a bunch of guys that are really serious about what they're doing and they're athletes. So. One
of those athletes is 21-year-old COLTEN FRIZTLAN. He grew up around rodeos and is now a 3-time event winner and the number 8 ranked rider in the world.
Growing up, I was around rodeo, that was it, and wasn't going to be it was a given that I was going to rodeo my whole life, so getting here, it's just a huge blessing and looking forward to it.
CODY CUSTER was a bull rider for the Professional Rodeo Cowboys Association in the 80s prior to co-founding PBR in 1992. An exclusive network deal with CBS Sports has brought in the cash, as the winning rider and bull each season rake in $1 million.
You know, it's great to see what's going on with these guys being able to walk away from the sport with quite a bit and have something to show for it, because there was a lot of guys back in my day and before that gave their life to it and they left with nothing.
The bulls are also popular among the fan base. Some of the best belong to Jeremy Walker, who says it takes a while for bulls to be certified for PBR competition.
It's hard to get a bull that buck's really hard ridden, but if you want to get one that's that good ridden, you got to bring them here. So once you know they can ride them and then you see them buck again and they're still good, that's kind of when you can learn to trust them.
Don't be bullish. This sport is brutal, and the athletes train intensely for it. For Cronkite Sports, I'm Jordan Spurgeon. I mean, don't get me wrong. The cardboard cutouts here at Desert Financial Arena are pretty cool. Just check out the Stormtrooper right here. And heck, they even have the curtain of distraction down there for the second half. Yep, spring training is here, and the Diamondbacks have a lot to work on. This is not an April Fool's joke. Game 1 of 162 will be played for a majority of teams in Major League Baseball. Fans have been all over social media showcasing how excited they are to have baseball back in their lives. Some are even saying that the first day of America's pastime should be a national holiday. If you want to catch the first pitch of the hometown Arizona Diamondbacks, game time starts at 1:10 against the young and talented San Diego Padres. Welcome into the Spurge, everybody. Happy Monday. Hope you're staying out there, staying positive, staying blessed. I know some of you hate the Mondays. I love Monday. It's a day to go attack the week, smash your goals, and of course, we've got sports back. So it was a great weekend. So of course, you got to come into Monday. Super excited after being able to watch baseball, basketball, soccer, UFC, whatever you're into. It's back, and I'm here to break it all down. Welcome into the Spurge, everybody. I'm your host, Jordan Spurgeon. You wear number 40. Is there any sort of significance behind that number? Like, what made you choose 40?
Good question. No one has ever asked you this. My dad's nickname is 40. That's what they call him. So I was in club ball. I was number 27 because they didn't have 4, and my number was always 4. Cactus, I played 4.
For you, you've kind of had to, deal with media and cameras around you for a long time. I read an article from when you were in high school where they talked about that. How do you think you've handled that and sort of adjusted it and maybe embraced it over the years?
I love it just because I'm like, I can talk. I love to talk to people, but I believe that hard work pays off. So when I get interviewed, I feel honored because I'm like, oh, my hard work's paying off somehow. I'm getting interviewed.
Picture this, first home run this year. What's going to be the first dance?
I don't know. I might do a little wax on, wax off, and then the forks up. That's always been my thing.
It's going to be an uphill battle in the NL West, with the Dodgers and Padres being ranked as the top 2 teams in baseball heading into the 2021 campaign. But Lovolo says he welcomes the challenge, and he's eager to see just how much of a chip his guys play with when the going gets tough. Benta Roja skipped her junior water polo season at ASU last year to go back home to the Netherlands to train for the 2020 Tokyo Olympics. But while she was there, the world changed and the Olympics were canceled. Now back with the Sun Devils, Roja figured a lot would have changed with her team.
They're my second family, and I was kind of scared that it wasn't going to feel that way, but it definitely still does. But honestly, after the first week or so, it just felt like old times, basically.
Now, Roja and the Dutch have qualified for the 2021 Olympics. She says the training from the past year and a half has helped her take her game to another level for the Sun Devils while having fun being back in Tempe.
Obviously, I had the best time training with the national team, but it's been pretty stressful, obviously. Preparing for a tournament, which you know is your last chance of qualifying. So coming back here is kind of like a relief. I'm so excited for the Olympics, but it's kind of just I'm just here to enjoy the game again and just have some fun.
The journey back from the Netherlands to ASU has been a year and a half in the making for Benta Roja, and the leadership qualities she picked up while training with the Dutch national team is only going to help out this ASU squad, and Coach Clapper knows those qualities are immeasurable.
Maybe cliche, but you go away for a year and a half and you also are training at that level and competing at that level. There's a different kind of maturity. situations don't necessarily take you by surprise, where maybe as a younger player, you haven't seen as much, and so it can kind of throw you off the game.
Roja has been back on campus for a little over 2 weeks and is already a vital player for the 6-3 Sun Devils. The defender says she's learned to be a communicator non-stop in practice and games. The water polo season is just a preview for what's to come for Roja and the Dutch in the 2021 Olympics. For Sports 360 AZ, I'm Jordan Spurgeon. As mentioned, the sports world came to a standstill 1 year ago today, when the country declared COVID-19 a pandemic. I recall being on spring break, and then all of a sudden, I was glued to my TV and my phone, as one update came after another. Cronkite News reporter Jackson Zuber revisits that moment in time when athletes and coaches first realized everything was about to stop. As of now, there's no clear-cut frontrunner for the starting quarterback job, so this competition between Cruz and Plummer will be something to keep an eye on throughout the rest of spring and heading into the summer. Back to you, Brad.
Good stuff, Jordan, there. Safe travels back.
Are your brackets ready? Here's a quick fact. The odds of a perfect bracket are 1 in 9.2 quintillion. So you're more likely to hit 100 consecutive threes on a basketball court. But hey, it's fun. Whew, the Diamondbacks just can't catch a break. Well, I got to take a break, so that's all for sports. Mike, Janet, back to you.
Yeah, Chase Lucas is everything for this program. And I mean everything.
Chase Lucas doesn't quit. The fifth-year senior came back with a chip on his shoulder after not being named a captain in 2020.
You know, I ended up not getting the C on my chest, and you know what I mean? I put so much hard work and dedication into something that I didn't get. And I remember walking out of the meeting crying.
This year is different. After he decided not to declare for the draft, Coach Herm Edwards opted to name Lucas a captain.
I just felt like I was out to prove something. Like I said, man, I think it was the best decision that I've made, and I'm just really, really blessed to be a captain on this football team.
The Tempe native and Chandler High product wants to be a legend in Sun Devil football lore. Coach Edwards says he saw that potential in him from day one when he took over the program.
He's been a part of this program even before I got here. I can remember when I first met Chase and we had a nice conversation and told him that, you know, eventually you're going to be one of the leaders of this football team, and rightly so. He's a team captain.
The goal for this season is to not only prep for the 2022 NFL Draft, but to make his teammates better and in turn cement his legacy in ASU history.
So if I'm going to be the legendary guy that I keep saying I'm going to be, I got to change some things. So I'm going to change some things around here.
The lockdown corner will be the first 5-year starter in Sun Devil football history. For Cronkite News, I'm Jordan Spurgeon. All right, so first pitch is almost underway for the D-backs, so it's time to go watch them. Thanks for joining us today on Cronkite Sports Now. We will see you next week.